Hello and welcome. I am Josh Widdicombe. For today, I'm the curator of a place of incredible artefacts and exhibitions, a place that stores the greatest thing on earth. This is my archive of pop culture. Welcome back to the final part of the life and work of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. If you thought the first two parts were a roller coaster, incredibly, his life story is about to take even more wild twists and turns. The final part of Arthur Conan Doyle, Tom. The saddest, but I suppose that is the case with everyone's life, isn't it?
Yeah, it comes for us all, Josh.
It does come for us all.
Yeah, the mortal
People
coil.
might be listening to us and we're already dead.
Yeah.
But I don't think that will be the case. I don't know whether this podcast will stand the test of time in that sense, but I hope it has. Will podcast the medium stand the test of time?
That's a big question.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say it's been a remarkable life so far for Conan Doyle.
It's about to get more remarkable.
Really? Okay, fantastic.
So let's start with something sad. His stricken wife finally passes away in 1906. The year after her death, he remarries.
Okay. Look, I'm not one to judge. That's fine.
Wow. He remarries a woman who he met at a party 11 years earlier.
Okay.
So basically, he's been in this position. I don't know whether you'd consider it noble or not. He's fallen in love with someone else.
Oh, really? Okay.
Years and years earlier.
Yeah.
But he has felt a loyalty to his ill wife, so has kept this affair from her.
So there was an affair going on then?
Yeah, so.
Okay, yeah.
But he hasn't left his ill wife.
Okay. In his defence, he hasn't left her.
He's not ideal.
Yeah.
So basically, in 1896, this is 10 years before his wife dies, he meets a woman at a party who he basically falls in love with. She's called Jean Elizabeth Leckie, but his wife clings to her life for 10 more years, and they just pretend to be friends for those 10 years. When Doyle's first wife, Tui, dies, she says to his daughter, she'd not be surprised if Arthur Conan Doyle married again. And she says she imagines Leckie will be the second wife. She puts some money on it.
It's always the one you suspect most.
It's always the great rule with when you split up with someone, who they're going to get together with, it's always the one you suspect the most.
Yeah, okay.
It's a rule as old as time. And same with if you die. So his second wife, Jean Leckie, she is, to be fair...
She's a Leckie lady.
She's a Leckie lady. Yeah. She is the love of his life.
Oh.
Yeah. He'd send her adoring notes, sometimes twice a day.
Do you do that? Do you do
that
it's pre-text
with
messages, I suppose, isn't it? Well, I text Claire more than twice a day.
Are they adoring?
Well, they're often quite functional. Do all stuff. We've run out of toilet roll. Should I do a big shop? Who's picking up the kids? Yeah, that sort of stuff. Yeah. Is that adoring? Probably not.
Well, you know.
I put kisses at the end, though.
The devil's in the detail. So, to give you an idea of the kind of things he sends her, when he's on a lecture tour of the US in 1923, it will be a weary old jumper who comes back to you. His first jump will be into your arms. His next one, into bed. Goodbye, my sweet one. I hunger for your kiss.
Oh, that last sentence creeped me out a little bit.
I hunger for your kiss is
it's
disgusting,
the word
isn't it?
Hunger I don't like. Hunger. Because it makes it like he's drooling. He's licking his lips. That's how I'm imagining it.
Yeah, it's grim, isn't it?
Absolutely. Just right, fancy a snog like everyone does. Just use the language we all do. Come on.
Yeah. So here's a twist. Jean Leckie, his wife, is an absolute horrible piece of work.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So she makes it clear to his two children from his first marriage that they're unwelcome.
Oh.
Which is a baller move.
Absolutely. Yeah. She backs herself. I'll give her that. Yeah.
Exactly. In the summer of 1908, Mary, she's away, but her last visit was not deemed a success. She's basically away in Dresden training to be a singer. She wanted to show her father and stepmother what she'd learned, and Jean, the stepmother, was trained as a mezzo-soprano, refuses to accompany her stepdaughter on the piano, so she's obliged to accompany herself. And then, after her stepdaughter sung, she privately tells Arthur Conan Doyle that his daughter's singing was flat and that she stood no chance of a career in music.
Oh, that's so awful. Wow.
Grim.
When my brother did a primary school play when he was about 9, I think it was like Peter Pan or something, my dad came up to him at the end of the play and said, "Don't get any funny ideas about becoming an actor."
Oh,
and that still sticks with Michael.
Does it?
Years later, it really does. I think that's a generational thing as well. I think my dad generation is older.
Your dad saying he was no good, or your dad saying you're good, but you don't. This is not a.
It's that. Yeah.
It's not a viable career.
It's that. That is what it is, in his defence. And I think it speaks to a generational thing of feeling that being an actor isn't a secure career, basically. That's what
Which
that
is,
was.
of course, not true.
No, of course. It works out for everyone, famously.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming off stage and immediately, Michael was saying before he'd left the school
your dreams.
Exactly. I'm glad you enjoyed that last hour, but let's be realistic.
Yeah. So Conan Doyle then writes to his daughter when she's back in Dresden, passing on this bad news, telling her that while she's got a sweet voice, she will never stand out from others.
He doesn't need to do that.
He doesn't need to do that.
He's really under the power of this lady, isn't he?
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. And then when he starts dedicating himself to spiritualism, i.e. communing with the dead and spirits.
He says the dead are saying you should give up your dreams of becoming an opera singer. They're also saying it as well. Getting a Ouija board out and saying you were flat, spelling that out.
So after the First World War, right, he dedicates himself to spiritualism. His wife mysteriously develops a talent for automatic writing.
Okay, yeah, that's convenient.
Yeah. So she takes messages down that she receives from the other world.
Okay.
And many of these messages praise the work Arthur Conan Doyle doing and the vital support that she provides.
I really hope it's like that as well. It's saying they're praising the work of you, Arthur Conan Doyle, and the vital support. I really hope she's using that language as well. That's amazing. I think you've got to be a bit more subtle about it, haven't you?
Yeah. And she gets lots of messages from lots of deceased relatives from both families, but sadly she never receives the one from his dead wife.
Okay. Oh, that's a pity, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a shame.
What are the chances?
I know. Did I mention also that he was an amateur boxer? I don't know if I did, but that's another thing to add. In 1909, he's invited to referee the heavyweight championship of the world fight.
What?
In Reno, Nevada. Still home to boxing fights, really, isn't it? So the boxers struggle to agree on the referee for the match. They both consider being impartial. And the only name they can agree on is Arthur Conan Doyle.
What's that the equivalent of now?
You're supposed Richard Osman.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it has to be Richard Osman then, doesn't it? It has to be. Yeah. Yeah, of course, Richard Osman. Fair enough. Yeah. That's amazing. Anthony Joshua versus
Tyson Fury. Yeah. Richard Osman.
Trying to hold them back, keep them apart. Yeah. He's
the only person who can be impartial. He's done it on Pointless and House of Games.
The bit where that microphone comes down from the ceiling at the beginning, it doesn't need to come down that far because he's so tall. It just comes down a bit.
So they also obviously they're not allowed to the publicity, but he can't do it due to the distance and prior engagements, sadly.
And because it would be insane.
And because it would be insane. So then I'd say that this for me is the maddest bit, right? Mm-hmm. Then he's staying in a hotel a couple of years later, the Lyndhurst Grand Hotel. And he has an idea for a third-story extension and an alteration to the front of the building. So he sketches it down. And
an alteration to the front of the building, the hotel he's staying in?
Yeah, and a third story.
Okay. When you're discussing an author, you need to be clearer when you're saying an idea for a third story.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Naturally, I'm going to assume you mean.
Yeah, of course. Because why would he... Have you ever stayed in a hotel and thought, do you know what? I can imagine a third story on this. I should draw that.
Yeah.
And they make it. The later that year.
What?
And when it's finished, it's basically nearly exactly as he sketched it.
That's incredible. He launches his property company, Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Oh, really nice. He gets really resentful.
Sherlock Holmes, it would be. It'd be like a safe home.
But they're really popular, but he doesn't like them because he wants to work on like...
Yeah, really intricate houses that not that many people are into. That's what he wants to do. That's incredible. So he's sat in the hotel. He designs a third story. I have so many questions about what is the thought process there. Has he approached the hotel and thought this hotel is too short? What's happening? Why is he now deciding he needs a third story? Also, I mean, he's so strange, isn't it? It's so incredible. Or was his bed on the roof and it's freezing and he's thinking this really needs a third story? They need to. But also, would they have had lifts? Presumably they'd have had lifts in those days. I think so, yeah. The lifts are before that, yeah. Well, I think the Paternoster lift was maybe the first one, which is like, I think maybe late 19th century.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, I think.
But still, it's a hell of an undertaking, isn't it?
Just to conclude that very briefly, so he submits it and they do actually build it.
Yeah.
What a life. Incredible.
In my head, he's sketched on, that little notepad you get next to your bed.
Oh, yes.
Maybe he's just left and he's left it sketched on the side unthinkingly. And the maid picks it up and goes, wait a minute.
This is perfect.
This is perfect. So this is the same year, right? 1912. Yeah. In Piltdown, paleontologists find shards of a scar of a million-year-old ape man who has a large brain but a primitive jawbone and teeth. Bear with me on this, right? And then over the decades, other countries find fossils of early ape man, but they're different from this, right? And British scientists don't take these other ones seriously because of the skull in Piltdown. They dismiss these, and even though it turns out these are genuinely important. Then in 1953, they announced the brain case was the modern human being, but the jawbone was an orangutan or chimpanzee, and the whole thing was a hoax.
Okay, right.
And some people believe the hoax was done by none other
than
Arthur Conan Doyle.
Wow. That he buried a human skull and a chimpanzee jaw.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
So he's a former doctor. He's a fossil collector. So he's got the expertise for this. Of course he has.
Mm-hmm. What is the expertise, out of interest? We've got access, I suppose, to those things. The ability
to know how to place them, I suppose, or what bones are what, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because he's a doctor. One of the characters in The Lost World, which he published in 1912 that year, said, if you are clever and you know your business, you can fake a bone as easily as you can fake a photograph. He also has the opportunity. He plays golf in Piltdown, and his motive is that as a spiritualist, his beliefs have brought him into conflict with the world of science, and he might have wanted to undermine them.
Ah, interesting.
However, in 2016, researchers at the Natural History Museum and Liverpool's John Moores University analysed DNA evidence, and it wasn't Arthur Conan Doyle.
Ah, okay.
But he was thought to have done that. So that's another string to his bow.
Yeah. That's amazing. I love that his name's been drawn into these things. It shows you what a sort of complex character he is.
The year after that,
it's probably him.
He enters the English Amateur Billiards Championship.
Of course he does.
And he writes the Daily Express with an idea which is described in the House of Commons as an insane idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Which was a tunnel linking England and France.
Wow. No way.
Yeah. So it's a 27-mile-long tunnel which will connect England to the European mainland in France to stop us being cut off, especially in times of war.
That's amazing.
Which is mocked and got rid of, obviously.
Is this like a train tunnel or just an access tunnel?
Well, it's 27 miles, so I imagine it's a train tunnel.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So
he invented the Eurostar.
So he invented the Eurostar, essentially. I suppose you could say. Tunnel. Or he certainly pushed for it, right. And then 1914 comes, so you obviously know what happens in 1914. World War One.
Yep.
But you should add that on a family trip in 1914 to a national park in Canada, he designs a golf course and ancillary buildings for a hotel.
And on that trip, he kills the Archduke Ferdinand.
Of course, he kills the Archduke Franz Ferdinand. The plans are realised in full, though it's no longer still standing. But they do build the golf course and the buildings.
Okay.
Just mad.
How is he fitting all this stuff in?
I know.
It's amazing.
Because it's 1914. He's one of 53 leading British authors, including H.G. Wells, Rudyard Kipling and Thomas Hardy, who signed their names on the author's declaration justifying Britain's inclusion in the First World War involvement, saying that the manifesto says that the German invasion of Belgium has been a brutal crime. Britain could not, without dishonour, have refused to take part in the present war. He wants to join the army. Why can't he join the army? He's 55.
Okay. Yeah.
His mum says to him, "My dearest and very naughty son, how dare you? Your very height and breadth will make you a simple and sure target."
Funny.
He turns up to visit troops on the front line and he does a John Terry.
In what way?
He wears full army outfit.
He's a full kit wanker.
He's a full kit wanker.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So is he there to give sort of motivational speeches to them, I guess? Is that what the point is? Yeah.
Yeah. He goes to the front line, presumably like a kind of Vera Lynn of his day. The writing says he looks like a soldier in a uniform, but the thing is, it isn't a real military uniform. It's one that he invented for himself.
Stolen valour. That's what they call it, isn't it?
Yeah. Real soldiers had little crowns just there. Arthur's has just got silver roses instead. He just can't accept that he's too old and they don't want him.
Oh, this is so sad. Arthur, you've achieved enough.
I know.
It's fine. You don't
You've
need to
achieved too much.
Yeah, exactly.
The person who
You're
would
a
motivate the
success.
troops wasn't Arthur himself. It was, of course, his detective. Yet again, Arthur found himself playing second fiddle to a phantom.
Oh,
So this is when he really gets into spiritualism. Now, a lot of people think he got into that because his son dies in 1918 from pneumonia after he's injured in the Battle of the Somme
okay.
in 1916. But actually, he publicly presents himself as a spiritualist first in 1916, so before his son has died. So people often link that. I mean, obviously, it probably helps, but that's not what leads into it. He writes over 60 books about spiritualism.
Wow.
People got a lot done in those days, Tom.
Yeah.
There was no phones. There was no TV.
Yeah. See, that's what a life without Instagram will do for you.
Exactly. Obviously, you know, he wasn't able to promote it because he didn't have Instagram.
Yes. Yeah. So are these successful books, these 60 books that he...
Well, they're not Sherlock Holmes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. But it shows how much he believes in it deeply.
Totally. And so people get into spiritualism around this time because the First World War has led to a lot of people being bereaved. And so spiritualism becomes a bigger thing.
That's really interesting.
In 1925, he's made acting president of the International Spiritualist Congress in Paris.
Yeah.
This is an absolute shambles. So 4,000 people attend the Congress, but there's riots outside the building from people who can't get tickets for it.
Okay.
Police are called, barriers are smashed, there's fights, there's beatings. In an effort to inject some order into proceedings, Conan Doyle begins the day with a slideshow.
Okay.
But the projectionist, sadly, is drunk.
Yeah.
And the slides are either upside down.
Holiday photos in there. Exactly. How did that get in there?
Yeah, exactly. It's all that. Like doing a barbecue with his bum out, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No, the slides are upside down or they've shared no relationship to what he's read. So that it all goes wrong.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then the skeptics have got tickets and they begin to laugh in the room at Conan Doyle's slideshow. And then there's more fights inside this time. And then someone shouts out from the middle of the hall, "Look out, you're treading on my ectoplasm." And then a believer breaks a chair over the head of a heretic.
Wow.
Conan Doyle's furious. He loses his temper and storms off stage.
Okay. And then comes back again to get his slides and then storms off again.
Exactly, yeah. The following year, there's another mass meeting organised, this time in the Royal Albert Hall to commemorate Armistice Day. And Conan Doyle is in the front row and he stands up and he says, "I ask all who are sure they are in touch with their dead to rise and testify." He says this without the aid of a microphone. And then there's another pause and some members of the audience begin to stand and then more. And finally, over 3,000 men and women stand up. Some laughing, some crying.
Some laughing?
Kind of just enjoy, I suppose.
Okay, right. Okay, yeah. That just seems like a strange thing to be doing.
Yeah, it does seem odd. And Arthur just wells up as well.
Yeah.
And he says, "Thank God there are so many. I prophesy that within 5 years to such an appeal, every man and woman in Great Hall shall arise. We are not testifying to faith, but to fact." And it's quite interesting that he's a spiritualist guy because obviously Sherlock Holmes couldn't be more the opposite of spiritual.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, he's about logic and science, isn't he, really?
Yeah, he's not into faith.
But you can also see how in that interwar period, as you say, that feeling of connection must have been so important because how otherwise getting your head around that size of loss must be nigh on impossible. So you can completely see how people would turn to that and find intense value in it.
To add to the Forrest Gump thing, this spiritual thing then leads to him to fall out with Harry Houdini.
Okay. So how's he become friends with Houdini?
Well, he just is from the celeb scene, I suppose.
Yeah.
He's really interested in the supernatural Houdini, but also he wants to expose fake spiritualists. And so the families, the Houdinis and the Conan Doyles become close. They stay with each other, share holidays.
They have a love of waterfalls, don't they? Houdini going over the top of the barrel. Conan Doyle can't get enough about writing about them. Yeah.
Exactly. That's how Sherlock Holmes should have saved himself, got in a barrel. So there's this Houdini's best friend, Bernard M.L. Ernst, tells this incredible story where Houdini performs an impressive trick for Doyle. And Houdini's like, "It's a trick, it's an illusion," hoping that would persuade Doyle to stop endorsing kind of phenomena simply because he can't think of an explanation for it.
Got you.
What do you think Doyle's reaction is to it?
That he refuses to accept that it's a trick and believes it's...
He refuses to accept it's a trick.
Amazing. Yeah.
So he's like, that's not a trick. That's real.
Yeah. That is your dream audience member, though, surely.
Yeah, of course. Perfect. So they begin to argue. Houdini then delivers diatribes against spiritualism at the end of his magic shows, sometimes referring to his Scottish friend and mocking him. The two don't speak again. And then Houdini eventually dies in Montreal, caused by the punch in the stomach.
Is that right? Oh, yeah.
Well, he gets punched in the stomach from a college student eager to prove his strength, and that leads to his death.
Right, okay.
Some years before his death, he's devised a code of signals and knocks revealed only to his wife and Arthur Conan Doyle, saying, if after I die, I want to communicate with you, I will use the code.
Okay.
Be proof of the afterlife.
Right.
And then a medium, Arthur Ford, contacts Conan Doyle shortly after Houdini's death and says that Houdini's spirit has woken him one night and given him details of a special code.
Oh, wow.
He's questioned and his answers are accurate, and Conan Doyle is euphoric.
Yeah.
But then Conan Doyle is informed that Houdini's widow has sold the code to a publisher, and it's been published, and the code is common knowledge in New York City.
That's such a depressing choice from the widow, because there's a chance if you wait it out, you might actually get contact from your dead husband if it's something that
but she's taken the cash.
She's absolutely just taken the money and run.
Yeah, she's taken the cash. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
He constantly kind of falls for these things. That's the problem. He wants to believe so badly. So there's someone called Lily Loder Simmons, and she's a bridesmaid at his wedding, a trusted companion of his awful wife, Jean Leckie.
Okay.
And she's family nanny, but she's got a lung complaint, which drives her to bed, and she's worried she's going to lose her job because of this and lose her place in the house. So she basically develops automatic writing, and he believes her.
Ah, clever, to be fair.
And she begins to write down messages from her brothers who've all been killed in the war, and he's in awe of her, Conan Doyle, and he starts to makes her permanent in the house.
Right, yeah.
So he gets played a bit, or it's true.
Yeah. So he gets played a bit, as you're saying. Yeah.
So then this is the ultimate situation of him being played. One summer's day in July 1917, there's a 9-year-old called Frances Griffiths. She comes back into the house that she shares with her cousin, Elsie Wright, who's 16, and their 2 families. And her shoes are soaked from playing in a stream at the bottom of the garden. And her mum asks what's happened, and she says, I go to see the fairies. And determined to support her cousin, Elsie gets her father to lend her his camera, saying she'd bring back proof of the fairies. Right?
Okay.
And they return, and the pictures are developed, and they show Francis, the 9-year-old, surrounded by 4 kind of sprites.
Yes.
And they're adamant that the image is real.
I think I've seen these images before.
You will have seen these images before. They're known as the Cottingley Fairies photos, yeah?
Yeah.
They're very famous. And 2 weeks later, they take another photo of her with a dancing gnome. Parents don't understand it. They're stumped.
Sorry, it's just so funny how matter of fact you said that sentence.
With a dancing gnome.
Yeah, with a dancing gnome, yeah. I don't need to go into that any further.
No,
of course. We all know what a dancing gnome looks like, yeah.
So...
What sort of dancing are we thinking? Is it like break dancing, spinning on his head?
He's doing the Charleston.
Do the Charleston. Okay. He's flossing.
Yeah. And their parents don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything about it. They just see it as like this puzzling anecdote in the family. I mean, that for me feels insane.
That tells me you're in on it.
Yeah.
If you're feeling the need to act further when you've seen your picture of 9-year-old.
So they're not in on it, because for 3 years they just put the photos. No, they put the photos away. They just can't believe it, and they're like, "Well, that's weird, but we won't do anything about that." Which feels like
that's weird.
So that's the oddest reaction of all, is to go, "Well, I don't know what's happened there, but we won't do anything about the fact our children have."
Do you reckon they then found that again a few years? Oh yeah, remember that?
Well, that's what happened. So 3 years later.
Bit like David Bowie at the beginning of The Snowman, when he goes upstairs and finds the scarf.
Yeah.
And he goes, I remember that.
In 1919, exactly. Elsie's mother takes the prints of the photographs of the fairies to the Theosophical Society in Bradford.
Okay.
From which word passes to Conan Doyle. He's initially suspicious. Of course he bloody is. He's not an idiot.
Yeah, for the first time in his entire life, he's initially suspicious.
Yeah, that it might be a hoax, and he fears he's being set up, right? Yeah. But he has several experts look over the photographs, and he goes ahead and he publishes them in the Strand magazine in December 1920.
Okay.
He says, if proven to be real, the images would mark an epoch in human thought. And after carefully going to every possible source of error, a strong prima facie case has been built up for their veracity.
Right. Okay.
He wrote, the recognition of their existence will jolt the material 20th century mind out of its heavy ruts in the mud and will make it admit that there is a glamour and a mystery to life. So he buys cameras for the two girls, asks them to take further photos. And so his support for the girls leaves the girls basically painted into a corner.
Right, okay. Where they've got to find another dancing
They're
gnome.
unable to say these are fake. So they give him more photos in 1921. They make more fake photos. And so eventually Francis and Elsie confess the photos have been faked.
Okay. That's good of them.
Do you want to have a guess when?
How late?
Yeah.
When did Conan Doyle give them the camera to use?
1921.
Let's say, goodness me, it's going to be longer. Let's go 20 years later.
What year were you born, Tom?
1981.
Yeah, so you were 2 when they admitted it.
That's 1983.
They eventually admit it in 1983.
That's incredible. When they're about 100, I guess.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Francis says, I never even thought of it being a fraud. It was just Elsie and I having a bit of fun. I can't understand to this day why people were taken in. They wanted to be taken in. People often say to me, don't you feel ashamed that you made all these poor people look like fools? They believed you. But I do not, because they wanted to believe.
That's so true, isn't it, really? I think that's people are longing for something, aren't they, really? And they love the idea of something out there. And especially
Arthur Conan Doyle wants to believe in spiritualism.
Completely. You talk about the loss of his son. You look at the impact of war. Completely. It's understandable that people are looking for connection and looking for something which gives them a feeling there's something bigger, something, more wonderful and shiny out there, which I get completely. I absolutely get.
Totally. Yeah. On the 7th of July, 1930, Arthur Conan Doyle dies of a heart attack, age 71. Mm-hmm. He's fitted a lot into his life. Yeah. I don't think you can argue.
He's fitted everything into his life.
He's lived a life. His last words directed to his wife are, "You are wonderful," which I would dispute.
Yeah.
But, takes all sorts.
But he loved to believe in things that weren't true.
Yeah, of course.
You're rubbing your hands in glee if you get to give that eulogy. What a story to be able to tell.
Where do you start?
Completely. This is gold.
So days after his death, 10,000 people attend a mass seance at the Royal Albert Hall.
Right.
Attended by his family. So it's 7 p.m, Sunday, July the 13th, 1930. And basically, they squeeze into Royal Albert Hall, hoping that he's going to make contact with them.
Okay.
His widow, Jean Leckie Conan Doyle, obviously, takes the stage with 4 of his children, and they sit alongside an empty chair reserved for Conan Doyle himself, complete with his name card.
Do you need to put a chair out for a ghost? I think they just sort of hover. I've never seen one come into a room and sit down. You don't have to take the weight off.
I've never seen one come into the room and stand up, Tom.
Exactly. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. I just think it's just not needed, is it, really?
No.
Yeah.
But, it shows him that you want him there, as if the 10,000 people in his family wouldn't.
That's a good point, yeah.
This is a good description.
It's better to avoid offence, I suppose, isn't it, than to have him appear and going, where the hell's my chair? Yeah,
this is a great quote. It was quite a high-stakes, tense night.
Okay.
I should Coco. Quite high stakes, whether there's life after death.
3,000 people have bought tickets.
10,000.
10,000. If he doesn't turn up, it's like the biggest damp squib of an evening ever.
Yeah. People wanted to see the proof. The ultimate response to his critics would have been to return on the night. I'd love to see that. What response to his critics to come back from the dead? Tell you what, Jesus put 2 fingers up to the doubters, didn't he?
What a response to his critics. Also, the critics aren't going to be going, oh, yeah, this is embarrassing.
Egg on my face.
Your reaction is going to be, so it is real. What?
Yeah.
It's not going to be about you're not going to feel humiliated.
No.
You're just going to be, mind's going to to be blown.
Yeah. This changes everything.
Yeah, exactly.
That review I wrote, I look like an idiot.
Yeah.
This changes the understanding of life as we know it.
Yeah, exactly. My main concern is not the fact that I said they didn't exist a week ago. Yeah. I can live that down because now my worldview has been completely reframed.
Yeah. So they open tributes, and then there's a 2-minute silence, and then a medium, who was Doyle's favourite medium, took to the platform. So this is his son Adrian, said the family would know if he did appear. There are tests which my mother knows, such as little mannerisms of speech which cannot be impersonated, and which will tell us it is my father himself who is speaking.
So the idea is Conan Doyle was going to come through this medium. Is that basically the idea?
I don't know whether Rose, my wife, has got turns of phrase that would mean I am beyond doubt.
Yeah.
Without it being words that only us know. But I don't think she's got such a distinctive turn of phrase.
Has she got a distinctive texting style? Could she sort of text you and you go, yeah, that is how Rose texts?
Like, without it being like someone who's got a very distinctive way of speaking, like Stephen Fry, Brian Blessed.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. Well, maybe pet names, stuff like that could be a thing that could come up. So, because she calls you Treacle Puff and stuff like that, doesn't she?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Multiple spirits are present in the hall, adding, they are pushing me like anything. Among those she claims are present are the spirit of the suffragette, Emily Davison.
No. Wow.
Who died at the Derby in
Celebrities
1913. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then suddenly she pointed to Conan Doyle's empty chair, announcing the author's spirit had entered the auditorium too. She said, he is wearing evening clothes.
Okay.
I don't know if that's...
I find that interesting because my understanding is you just are basically in the clothes that you die in. My understanding of ghosts, if ghosts exist, that you're just basically, you have one outfit and that's just what you happen to have died in.
Well,
that's whenever I see a ghost, yeah. Where are these fair clothes?
You don't see many ghosts in, that weird open-backed thing you wear in a hospital that presumably is the outfit that most people die in. Point.
Heaven's
just lots of people with their bum out.
Some naked people who went skinny dipping and it went wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Well, there you are. I didn't realise there's a rack of clothes that you can choose from as a ghost.
Yeah, so she ran over to Lady Conan Doyle, the spiritualist, and she says, Sir Arthur told me that you went into the hut this morning. That's the one at Doyle's home where he wrote. Is this correct? Lady Conan Doyle replied, why, yes. Roberts continued, the message is, tell Mary. But at that moment, the hall's organ suddenly burst into life,
right,
drowning out the rest of the message. After that, the meeting was quickly brought to a close.
Right.
Bit weird.
Yeah, that is quite weird.
I mean, it depends if someone's just playing the organ to cover the message.
I'm thinking the medium has been hidden in a tree or something, genuinely.
Or my first thought there would be, they often do that thing where they'll have a plant or themselves will just be able to overhear your conversation.
Okay, yes, yeah.
Because Lady Conan Doyle could be... Have you ever been backstage at the Albert Hall? Presumably it hasn't changed much. Yeah. And it's like got... they're just going to be in dressing rooms, the same dressing rooms that we would be in these days. That's a really good point, actually, yeah. And she might be, having a cup of tea and go, I went into the hut this morning. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah, completely, yeah.
But it's difficult for me to say that's what happened, seeing as it was 100 years ago.
Yeah. He's also saying, did you order 2 sparkling waters at the theatre bar? Yeah, I did do that, yeah. And some McCoys. Yeah, I got some McCoys, yeah, I did.
That stuff you're looking at in the gift shop's overpriced.
Don't waste your money.
Yeah. So Adrian, the son, said, the spirit message answers all the tests which my father and mother had agreed upon before his passing.
Ooh.
But let's be clear, they're wanting it to happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the tests are, do I get in touch with a medium, probably?
Yeah.
Did I say it's Arthur here?
It's him!
We don't know to this day what the full contents are of that message. So
we
will forever never know whether Arthur Conan Doyle got in touch. But whether he did or not, he lived an incredible life. But strangely, the one thing he was most annoyed about was his own greatest defining creation.
It's really interesting, that, isn't it? I mean, there's clearly a sense, or he feels that he's being pushed into this at points, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Whether that's through the publishers or just as a consequence of the fact it became so popular, and that in its own way forces your hand a bit, doesn't it, really?
Well, in a way, he did that to the Cottingham Fairies girls.
Yeah, exactly. But they rode that until 1983.
Exactly.
The organ thing's interesting. So why has that happened? Has that been set up? Has the medium said, look, all I've got, I'll be honest, is the hut thing. That's what I've got.
Yeah,
You, as soon as I say the word hut and she says yes, you have to start playing something because I've got nothing else. That's all that's what I'm imagining.
They were playing that one like at the baseball, like.
It's fascinating, isn't it? I mean, what an incredible life. There's just so much in there. And also his wants to do more is what's remarkable. Like, it's not just that he's had these ideas and things have worked out. Even like wanting to go to war, everything. There's so much energy and drive in this person throughout his entire life. Sporting levels, setting up organizations, all these things. It's just one of the most remarkable lives I've ever heard about. Yeah. Because it's just so full of events and energy. It's amazing. Yeah, incredible. Well, and he lives on now as well, floating around in his three-piece suit. Exactly. Dressing for every event. Exactly. Yeah, completely. Well, if you want to read Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes, I'd recommend The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which is the first group of short stories, which is incredible. Read that. What you're doing there, though, Josh, is you're doing the one thing he doesn't want you to do, which is push Sherlock Holmes. He wants you to push his other books. Yeah, I know, but I haven't read them. Okay. Like the rest of the fucking world. Yeah, it's a very good point. If you're interested in the other works, Google it. Yeah. Find out what they're called by those. But I've not read it. Thank you, Tom. It's been a joy. Oh, it's been fantastic. I've loved that. What a fascinating guy. Yeah. What a weird man. Yeah. What a weird old cove. Yeah. But also a brilliant mind. And that's why he's able to create so many of these stories, which are so intricate, complicated, and just... and do you think he's lived a stranger life than Noel Edmonds? Well, you have to be realistic. Noel's always the outlier, but within the context of all other humans, Conan Doyle has had an absolutely balmy life. Yeah, I love it. Great, wonderful. I genuinely want. It makes me want to go and read Sherlock Holmes right now. I won't because I'm going to go look after the kids. But later I will. Thanks, Josh. Loved it. Join us for our next story soon. I promise. We'll do one straight after this that's really bang in the middle of the 90s. And you can get all of those episodes straight away on the day of release if you join the fan club now. Do that in the show notes. See ya. Bye-bye. Archive of Pop Culture is a Keep It Light production hosted by me, Josh Widdicombe, research by Emily Pickthall, additional editing by James Sheldon, designed by John Gregory, music by Pickle and Button.